Hi folks, I hope you enjoy this video focusing on the engineering of the underground remains at Ystrad Einion mine. The mine has about a 300-year documented history, but the water wheel that you're about to see was installed between 1871 and 1875.
So this is the intact underground water wheel of Ystrad Einion mine in mid Wales. Absolutely incredible survival. And me and Winko were discussing some of the engineering that's present here, and I think we understand what's going on. This is, of course, the means by which the mine was pumped and also the ore hoisted from deep down, and this is the main shaft of the mine. It's all flooded today with this beautiful blue water, presumably copper, and that there is the rising main. None of these tunnels really go anywhere, and presumably the mine itself was only developed below adit. You can see the presence of copper just there, that beautiful copper sulfate. Now what we think would have occurred is the water wheel being powered by falling water up in that leat up there would have fell down, it was overshot, and all of the buckets, or the paddles, they're all beautifully intact.
Following the closure of the mine in 1903, the surface plant was scrapped and the underground wheel forgotten until the 1970s when it was rediscovered.
It must have fallen in that direction. So it's going anti-clockwise from our perspective, and interestingly, if you look, the actual bearings themselves are missing. And Winko reckons that's probably because they were made out of bronze and therefore quite valuable. So, once the wheel was turning, you then had a variety of pieces of apparatus to communicate the power to the shaft. Now, of course, the two purposes were for pumping and for winding. And first of all, for pumping, just here you have a very small little balance bob. The wheel would have made this this rod here rock backwards and forwards on that axle. And this would have gone up and down. There's the counterweight just there. And then looking in this direction, you can see that chain there. That chain would have gone all the way over to the shaft where in the shaft itself, the rising main, this was not a plunger lift pump like the Cornish style with steam engine. In fact, this one here would have had a series of buckets inside, so it would have been a bucket lift going all the way down, and the chain, with the motion of the wheel over there, would have been brought up and down the rising main, and then the water would have been discharged into the little channel just there. All this is rotted away, unfortunately, but in this space there would have been another one of these balance bobs, just like over on the other side.
These photos show the surface infrastructure at Cwm mine in North Wales. The power from the water wheel was first communicated to the flat rods, and then to the angle bob, and then finally down the shaft and into the pump rods. The wheel at Cwm has been lovingly restored, and whilst not an exact replica of Ystrad Einion, it's about as similar as you can get today.
Now, of course, the other purpose of the wheel was to supply winding power as well, and that's what this drum's for. Now, this isn't in its original situation at all. In fact, you can see this frame just here, with the two uprights and the one across, would have been mirrored with these two, and they would have slotted into those sockets just there, form another frame on this side. So the actual drum itself would have been raised up to be level with this clutch just here. Now, we're not quite sure how the drum itself would have actually been operated, but it appears this could have been a lever for it, a long-handled lever, and just here must have been where it could have attached. But either way, it's this part just here that would have sat on the upright like that there, but over here.
The winder at Cwm Cyprwth mine is much better preserved, and here you can see the simple drum brakes and of course the simple geared clutch setup as well. The winder was only powered for the ascent phase, and whilst lowering it only used the drum brakes.
And someone standing about where I am now, holding the lever, could operate that as it wound from the shaft. So you had a wheel that was used for pumping and for winding. And the absolute most amazing survival hidden away in the Welsh valleys.